Noah's work, his compositions. Noah hasn't been here for a couple of years, but we felt it was time to bring him back. So Noah, it's good to see you again. It's been a while, but as always, welcome.
That applause really was meaningful. Thank you. It's why I do this work. It's for all the applause. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I didn't think that my New York sense of humor was going to come across down here, but...
Are you kidding me?
I know.
New York came down for the winter.
I was going to say, I came from the mother country today, from Brooklyn. So I won't speak too much tonight because we have so many things to go through. There's so much music. And also this piano is so beautiful. I've been having a little love relationship for the last hour with this piano, so I'm going to sit at the piano a little bit tonight as well. But I thought that maybe we would sing a little bit. Probably unfamiliar for most of you, but I would encourage you just to start singing. There's no words. You don't have to attach yourself to any words. And eventually the melody will find itself. I think especially because you don't know it, you should sing very loud right now. Let's try it. So I have a friend of mine, she was in the car with her grandchild. She lives up in Boston, and her grandchild, she goes to synagogue every single week. And her grandson said, "Grandma, why do we say yai lai lai so much in synagogue?" And at first she was going to say a very quick answer, something along the lines of, "Oh, it doesn't mean anything. It's just a nonsensical word. We use it in place of other words." And then she stopped herself and she said, "Wait, no, this is a teachable moment. It's not that yai lai lai means nothing. It's that yai lai lai means everything. It's when we don't have enough expression, the words don't reach it. We have to put a melody to it. And sometimes we can forego the words entirely and go right to the source, right to the heart. And that's where we can find our meaning. And so tonight we're going to be singing a lot of words in Hebrew and a lot of words in English. And we're going to be singing a lot of these wordless melodies. And I would love for you to identify with any one of them. But just know that the goal is not to get through the service, but have the service get through you. Let's try it again. Such beauty. It's so nice to look around this space to see the woodwork and all of the craftsmanship that went into this space. So if you haven't had a chance to look around and just appreciate the space that you get to pray in every single week, it's quite magnificent. noticed that this Siddur turns from left to right, so we really have evolved as a people. For the last 2,000 or so years, our tradition has been going right to left. But now, finally, we've evolved, and our Siddur now goes left to right. So I was confused when I first looked at it, but hopefully you'll be on the same page as I am. Somewhere along the fourth or fifth line down, you're going to see these words, Ana Eli Chendat Libi Chusana Ve'al Natita Lam. There's an Israeli song that was written in the 60s with almost exactly the same words, but they modernized the Hebrew. They translated it to Eile Chamda Libi. This is what my heart really wants. This is what my heart truly desires. Chusana, for you to have compassion, take pity. I don't even like that translation, not take pity. Have compassion on us. And al natitalen, to stop being hidden. It is so sometimes frustrating that the divine entity that we are trying to connect with is a hidden and invisible one. And yet I think that that is also such an important part of the spiritual journey. Because if it was so obvious, then it would be harder and harder to search. To me, the searching for that divine presence is exactly the spiritual path. And the more I clear the obstacles that I've created along the way in my own mind, the closer I am to finding that source. So your part in the song, when I sing, Chusana ve'al natitalen, you're going to sing, come out, wherever you are. That's going to really help. Even if it doesn't help you, it's going to help me, okay? So, Chusana ve'al nati, come out, wherever you are again. Chusana ve'al nati, come out, wherever you are. Let's try it again. Chusana ve'al nati, come out, wherever you are. Chusana ve'al nati. Your part in this song, you're going to sing the words Eile Chamda Libi. This is what my heart really wants, like this. Eile Chamda Libi. Try that with me. Eile Chamda Libi. Now we go a little higher. Eile Chamda Libi. Eile Chamda Libi. Do you have it? Let's go. Eile Chamda Libi. Eile Chamda Libi. A little higher. Now I know that some of you are desiring to get up and dance, and then you feel like you don't have the permission to do that. I want to give you permission. Even the president here, the president who joined us tonight, thank you for joining us, Mr. President. He said, you know, people in this congregation don't dance and move enough. So I want to give you permission before you even think, oh, I'm not allowed to get. It's okay. You're allowed to get up and move. And you know what? You're not even sitting in your seat right now. You're sitting in. Last week, someone else was sitting in that exact same seat. It's not your seat, right? It's just a seat. So you're allowed to stand up, and if you want, you can move to a different seat at some point. Let's try this part again. It's going to be really hard to find the next one on page 6. I'd love for you to find Yismechu Hashemayim. It's the 6th to last line down. Page 6. On page 6, the 6th to last line. Yismechu Hashemayim v'tagil haaretz yiram hayam u'medor. You all see where I am? Yismechu Hashemayim v'tagil haaretz yiram hayam. Did you already light candles in the other room?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So lighting candles is kind of the technical start of Shabbat, but for some reason, whenever we get to the Chadoti, that feels like the moment, the shift that happens. If we could take a moment and just internally reflect on the week that just passed. Is there one thing or one memory or one moment that you want to take with you into this Shabbat? there one moment that you want to let go and make more space this Shabbat? I don't resonate so much with all of the things we're not allowed to do on Shabbat, but I do resonate with how to invite in more space. And so if that means I clear some of the obstacles away, that works for me. How do I make more space on this day to be able to access my true self, at least just for one day a week? Then I can bring it all back. The social media, the news, all the things can come back Saturday night. Maybe I just take one day. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השביענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם תפארת וראייה לך אדוני, down on page 14. Please rise. בואי ושלום, את התבלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה,
Please remain standing for Baruch, page 21.
So we just sang the words Uri, Uri, Hitorari, wake me up. It's wonderful that you have so many different musicians and composers come in here and help lead you on Friday nights. And I'm realizing now that this melody, I wrote this melody in 2006, and it's been following me around as I travel around to different communities. And it's making me realize that we all have our own song. We have our own prayer. And I didn't know it at the time when I was writing that this was going to be my song, the one that was my prayer. That it's a real beautiful thing to have other people sing your song. And I hope that it's a blessing that I wish for each and every one of you, that other people get to sing your song and you get your voice heard and reflected, your experience, your prayers meant by a community. And what a blessing it is that you get to hear other people who are creating new and inspiring new Jewish music in this world. They get to come here and inspire and share their song with you. You're being filled up with so much newness. It's so beautiful. And all of those memories are getting trapped in the wood. And every time you come back here, a little piece of those songs is still in this room. A little piece of them still here. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Barechu et Adonai ha-mevoda. We respond together. Baruch Adonai ha-mevoda. Le'olam
Please be seated.
So this next series of prayers. So if that one was just about calling out to who we're sending our thank you to, I definitely evolve and wrestle constantly with that concept of God and divinity, and the name changes all the time. I don't always feel comfortable using that word, God. I don't even know what it even means anymore. can't tell sometimes if that you is really just me reflected back, which is also just fine. And then we move on to Ma'ariv Aravim, which is the bigness. If anybody saw that solar eclipse this week, we witnessed these celestial bodies moving and reminding us of how small we all are. I can feel, I can see, I can taste it. I believe I can't possibly waste it. I'm alive in this moment of grace and I cannot contain it. I believe I was made for a reason. I believe that my story's been written. I believe I was placed here to be a servant of your goodness. All along, you've been here. All along, all along, all along. You've been here all along. So we talk about the rising of the sun. And how the moon was covering that sun this week. And here it says, we roll the evening into darkness. The night rolls into day. You roll light from before darkness. We saw the merging of that this week. You've been here all along. All along, all along, you've been here all along. All along, all along, you've been here all along. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. El Chai v'Kayam, you are everlasting and you sustain us constantly, forever and ever, Le'olam va'ed. All along, you've been here all along. All along, all along, you've been here all along. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. Page 23. Avad Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadet. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochbeinu v'kumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגד יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה. ועבדך your love, al tasir mimenu leolamim. Do not remove this love. And we know that we're the only ones who can remove that love. It's always there and always constant and always present in every moment. So when we say al tasir mimenu, there is nothing, no one outside of ourselves can stop that love from pouring. It's our own eclipse of the heart. Oh, I wish someone would write a song with those words. It's the own eclipsing of our own hearts that prevent that love from flowing. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. The next prayer are on page 26, but they're also conveniently located on the backs of your eyelids. If you choose to take this moment independently. Focusing on this love, this everlasting love. Take your time, surround yourself in it, bathe in that love. These words, emet, truth, the emunah, faith, they're put next to each other intentionally because somehow our tradition knew that these would feel like they're opposed. Truth lives in the mind. This constant search for truth is such a big part of our Jewish experience. We want to understand. We want to search for truth and meaning. But then the very next word is emunah. Emunah lives in the heart. Emunah requires surrender, requires uncertainty, requires living in the discomfort. And so they're combined by this little, small, thin little letter, the letter vav. When you put a vav before a word, it means and so it's a linking letter. That's why my friend Rabbi David Ingber says, all you need is vav. All you need is vav, because vav connects everything. The yud, the hey, the vav, and the hey, they're all connected. Emet ve'emunah kol zot. We need both. We need the balance of the head voice and the heart voice together. משה ומרים ובני ישראל לכנו שירה בשמחה ואמרו כולם. Moses and Miriam and all of the people of Israel all sang the same song. That's how I know I'm a little bit dubious about the story. All the Jews were singing the same song at the same time? What kind of story is this? I don't believe it. Every single Jew singing the same words at the same exact time as they were crossing the Red Sea. You know, we're about to have Passover. Can you believe it's almost Passover already? Oh my gosh. You know, we don't really question or think about how much audacity Miriam had. She remembered to bring her timbrel. We didn't even have enough time for the bread to rise. And she brought her timbrel, and I see some people brought them right here in the front row. If you want to pull out a timbrel, it's right there in front of you. In front of you, right here, yeah. Page 30, middle of page. Nora tehilot, o sefere, nora to be on page 31. We're going to start on the second to last line. Ushmod Seitenu Uvoinu, God, our coming and our going. We have oftentimes these words, Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha. It comes up a lot in the Psalms. On page 32, the top of the page, Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha. Spread this shelter of peace. It's curious why we use that word, Sukat Shlomecha. You would think we would want a fortress of peace, or a castle of peace, but they use the flimsiest structure possible, a sukkah. A sukkah is the flimsiest structure that we know of. If you ever tried to put up a sukkah, it falls down very quickly, and you can see through it, and it's not a very solid structure. So why do we use that word? Why are we asking only for just this simple sukkah of peace? Perhaps it's just we need a little help to get started. Just a little support, and then knowing that we have to do the rest of the work. We can't just stand back and wait for a divine entity or some other higher power to come fix our mess for us. We just need a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of guidance, a little vision for how that peace can look, and then we have to do the work. And so we have Shabbat, this little glimmer of peace that we get to keep. Even in the harshest and hardest of times, we maintain Shabbat. More than the Jewish people have kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jewish people. So at the end of this prayer, we're going to join together with these words, Ve'al, Ve'al, Ve'al Yerushalayim. And you could hear the shalom in the middle of her name. The city has been calling out for peace for 2,000 years. Let's repeat those words together. Ve'al Yerushalayim. Ve'al. Same thing again now. Ve'al. Now to add Yerushalayim. Ve'al Yerushalayim. Let's try it again. Ve'al. verse 32. Let's try it together. Tishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ay ay ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. We're going to do the Amidah standing and silently.
Please rise.
יקדל ויקדש נדבה, ועל מה תברכותי והמלחמכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי לכל בית ישראל. בעגלה ובזמן קרי וימרו, אמן. יש מרבה מבורך, בעולם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ברמה ויתנשא ויתעלה ויתעלה ויתעלה, שמי לקודשה לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירם בעמה וימרו. Take your time, go through the Amidah. You can use the words in the Siddur or the words of your heart, and we'll meet together for a blessing for peace. On page 41. So take your time. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Hamcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. So about 20 years ago, I was on a trip to Israel with my father. We were in Jerusalem. We just spent a whole day together. We went to Yad Vashem. At the time, it was a new construction. It was an incredible space. We both had a very emotional day. But we got into a conversation in the hotel room about composing music, especially music for prayer. My father was a cantor in a congregation in New Jersey for 50 years in one congregation. So he knew a thing or two about sacred music. And his belief, because he didn't write songs, his belief was that songs need to be divinely inspired. And at the time, I was a student at Berklee School of Music. I was a music student. And so I was trying to convince my dad that, no, you don't need inspiration. You can just start writing. And I said, just give me a few notes. And then he sang a few notes, and then I took those notes and I put them together, and then I sang a couple more notes, and then he said, okay, give me a couple more notes. And we just kind of went back and forth, and we composed this first line. And then throughout the rest of the course of the trip, my father and I traveled to different places. We had different experiences together. And whenever I had some free time, I would jot some notes down and finish the piece, and I started getting really inspired, and I kept going with it. And the question is the final result, this song that both of us composed together, that we then used the text of Shalom Rav for, a song about shleimut, a song about wholeness. And sometimes it requires all of us to come from many different perspectives on how peace is attained. But we need all of us together, united in this. So I don't know who won the argument, but I do know that what came forth was a result of partnership between my father and me, between two lovers of Israel and lovers of Judaism and lovers of Jewish tradition. But we have vastly different understandings of what that love looks like. And yet it doesn't affect our love for one another because we're a family. So this is the result of that union, of bringing two voices together, two mindsets. One was, does the inspiration come first, or does the perspiration come first? Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. 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 Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael. 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 ובכל עת ובכל שעה, ובכל עת ובכל שעה, בכל עת ובכל שעה.
Shalom Rab, Shalom Rab, Shalom Rab, Shalom Rab.
Page 48, Kaddish Shalem. Yikadav yikadash merabah, v'yamani rachi ruteh v'yamlich machuteh, b'chayei chon v'yamei chon v'chayei rechol Beit Yisrael, b'agalav izman kari v'imru amein. Yehei shmei rabah mevarach li'olam u'mei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitramam v'yinaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal, shmei kedusha b'richu. Le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'yimru amein. Yehei shlom rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yimru amein. Titkabel sultan v'adchan v'chol Yisrael, kadama v'hondi b'shmaya v'yimru amein. Say shalom b'imramav, v'yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yimru amein. Yeah, before we started, or before I started, I really just have to say how beautiful the music's been tonight, and really making it Shabbostic. Thank you, Noah. Yeah, I hear he likes that. So I'm sure that all of you are familiar with this. I wouldn't call it a children's rhyme, but when kids get rambunctious out playing together, they start calling each other names, and then they come up with things like sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. I'm here to tell you differently. Little story. It was only a couple of years ago. There was a teenager, we'll call him John Smith. John was pretty much your typical 16-year-old, promising life ahead of himself. In high school, he played sports. He had decent grades. He had several friends. One August morning, the summer before his junior year in high school, John's parents entered his room to find their son hanging from the ceiling light fixture. John had committed suicide. What happened? What went wrong? Why? John's parents wanted to know. They were distraught. They were beside themselves. They needed answers. And after some investigation and speaking with John's friends and looking at his computer, it was found that John was a victim of weaponized words, what we call today cyberbullying. This week and next week's Torah portions are dedicated to one of the most heinous crimes in the Torah. Lashon hara, evil speech, speech about people that is negative, derogatory, speaking badly about someone, making up stories, lying, simply gossip. Like so many of today's children and adults, John had no chance. He was doomed. The Torah tells us Lashon hara is one of the worst offenses that can be committed by and against someone. It is described by the rabbis as being as bad as idolatry, murder, incest, all combined. It is a triple homicide. Why? It kills the one who speaks it, the one about whom it is spoken, and the one who listens. There are several seminal moments in the Torah and in Jewish history of instances of Lashon Hara with dire consequences. Perhaps the most famous is the story about Miriam when she spoke badly about Moses' wife. And then there was a time where Moses himself spoke out against the Jewish people when he asked God, what if they don't believe the message that I'm going to deliver to them? Both of these cases ended up in leprosy. It's the English term that the Torah gives for tzarat as the punishment for these crimes. Other instances, Joseph spoke badly about his brothers to his father Jacob. The spies brought back a bad report about the land of Israel. And finally, two men, Kamsa and Bar Kamsa, one speaking badly about the other, causing him public embarrassment over needless hatred, which turned into the destruction of the temple of the Beit HaMikdash. Why is the Torah so severe when it comes to Lashon Hara, branding it one of the worst sins? Words. Words are weapons. Words are the common denominator. Judaism is a religion of holy words. And with Lashon Hara, words are turned into sin. And even worse, into murder. God created the universe by using words. And God said, let there be, and there was. God revealed himself at Mount Sinai by using words, the Ten Commandments. When we humans were created, the Midrash says, we became speaking people. The Talmud calls humans midabrim, speakers. We say the Shema. It's about words. Hear, O Israel. You can't see them, you hear them. It's about words. It's about our covenant with God. And when we begin the end of the Amida, when we begin the Amida and then end the Amida, we're asking God for help to guard our tongues and to use speech for good. Speech is what separates us from the animals. And the punishment, the skin ailment, simply called leprosy. The Torah tells us that this leprosy not only afflicts the person, it afflicts their clothes, and finally, it gets into the walls of their homes. A very public punishment, which sends out a warning to the afflicted, but it also sends out a warning to the rest of the public. They see the leprosy. They see what Lashon Hara can do. It's a warning to all against this disease of gossip. The Torah is telling us that malicious speech uttered in private is to stigmatize the speaker. It's to stigmatize them in public, so hopefully they won't do it again, and hopefully the people who see the leprosy will not do it. We are better than this. Racism, arrogance, self-righteousness have no place in our society. They destroy our integrity. They destroy our trust in those who speak Lashon Hara. John Smith had no chance. John Smith is a tragic reminder that words can hurt and more. Words can kill. He is a reminder that free speech has a cost. that free speech, when considerate of others, respects the dignity of others, that we in society have a responsibility. Once forgotten, once we forget that responsibility, free speech becomes very expensive, and Lashon Hara, a killer. Shabbat Shalom. Aleinu? Please rise for Aleinu, page 51.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוסף ראשי, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
May be seated except for those who have yortzeit or saying Kaddish, and for those who would like to remain standing to honor those who were killed in Israel since October 7th. This week in our congregation, we remember the following members and friends: Joseph Candlestein, the father of Irene Gross; Doris Liftman, mother of Daniel Liftman; Edith Klein, mother of Lorraine Kaplan; Eva Buis, aunt of Vera Kamen-Esther; Eva Sakowitz, the sister of Susan Davis; Robert Levy, the husband of Seal Levy; Adele Abraham, the great-grandmother of Ivy Fask; Elaine Warshaver, mother of Joanne Warshaver Pinsis; Peter Hecht, the brother of Michael Hecht; Minnie Steinberg, the mother of Tina Newmark; Mildred Yekis, the grandmother of Stephen Yekis; Anna Greenberg, the grandmother of Stuart Greenberg. May their memories be for a blessing. Mourner's Kaddish, page 53. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayei uv'yamei uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, b'agala v'zman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach li'alam umei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnasei. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei dekudusha brichu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran b'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shmaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen.
Oseh shalom b'imramav v'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'yimru amen.
At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Stanley Amernick, co-president of the synagogue, and it's a pleasure to be able to introduce him in his first appearance on this stage. He also likes applause. So please welcome Stanley.
Shabbat Shalom. I want to welcome you all here tonight. If you're here for the first time, or many times, we hope we'll see you on many Friday nights or for Shabbat services. I'd like to thank Noah here for conducting a beautiful, beautiful service tonight, and I thank the rabbi. So for the next 3 months, I'm going to be co-president. So if you have anything negative to say about the shul, the services, the food, or anything, you write Moshe Adler. If you have anything nice to say about anything you've done here, you get in touch with me. Now, I'm the new guy on the block. I'm going to do some things a little differently. You know, most of the things in this congregation is dictated by the board, but tonight I'm going to give the congregation a say in what we do. So I'm going to give you 2 choices, and by hand vote, you'll select one. The first choice is we have this beautiful bulletin that tells you everything that's in this shul that's coming up in the next 2 weeks. So that's your first choice. I can read through this 10-page bulletin for 20 minutes. Or, second choice, by hand vote, we can sing a song. So, all those in favor of me reading this brochure out loud for the next 20 minutes, raise your hand. All persons who'd like to sing a song, raise your hand. Oh, this is one smart congregation.
What song should we sing?
We are going to sing Hine Matovu Manayim. Come on. Hine Matovu Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matovu Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Read the bulletin or I get in trouble with the board.
Show of hands. How many vote for Stanley as the next cantor? Noah, again, I want to thank you for a beautiful evening, beautiful melodies, for a wonderful service. Thank you.
Wow, that's applause. Where was that applause during the whole service? I sang Michamacha, nobody applauded at all.
Whatever your choice.
So how about it? We've been sitting for a lot of the service. How about we stand for this last one and we're going to reprise a song that we already did. So you don't even need the words for it. If you're able and willing to sing. So we started the service with this song, and we're going to end the service with this song. And if I see that nobody took me up on my offer to dance, so now you have one final opportunity to move those shoulders, to move those hips, to shake your bodies a little bit. It's okay. I know that we're close to Miami and there's a lot of good salsa dancers and we're a little intimidated by that, and that's okay. We don't have a really big, strong dance community here in the Jewish community. It's okay. The 21st century, we will be a dancing people, I promise. Are you ready? Take your shakers, take your grounders, take your timbrels in your hands. Here we go. Hey, the Chapeli Big. Here we go.
us in the social hall through the internet.